isn't the credits rolling.
What is it then?
It's the screen itself. It's the boundary that defines the life. Think of it like this. If a song went on forever, never ending, just an infinite stream of notes.
Yeah.
Is it a song?
No, it's a drone, it's noise, you just tune it out.
Exactly. The silence at the end of the song is what gives the melody its shape. The dust is present in the rose from the moment it blooms. We are carrying our own ending around with us internally all the time.
So we aren't moving towards death as a destination. We are constructed of our own mortality.
We are. And recognizing that, realizing that we are beings towards death is the only way to live authentically. If you pretend you're going to live forever, or that you're permanently young, or that your current status is eternal, you're living in what Heidegger called bad faith.
You're living as a plastic flower.
And nobody writes songs about plastic flowers.
Right.
Precisely. Which brings in a counterpoint from the romantic poet John Keats. The sources mentioned his view on melancholy. He argued that beauty requires transience.
Scarcity creates value. It's basic economics applied to the soul.
Applied to aesthetics, yes. The rose is stunning, precisely because we know, consciously or subconsciously, that it will be gone by morning. If the rose were made of diamond and lasted 1 billion years, would we stop to smell it?
Probably not. It would just be part of the landscape, like a rock.
Right, so the glow of the rose comes from the tension of its own destruction. The fragility isn't a bug in the system, it's the feature.
Okay, so let's recap the scorecard here. We have the illusion of chronological time versus intensity. We have the trap of the ego and admiration. We have the structural necessity of death. That is a massive amount of philosophical weight for a pop song.
It is.
So you'd think, with all this heaviness, the song would be angry, or screaming, or weeping. But it's not.
It's incredibly calm.
It's almost indifferent.
That's the absurd. That's Albert Camus walking into the room.
Camus talked about the benign indifference of the universe.
Right. The universe doesn't hate the rose. The sun didn't burn it out of malice. The wind didn't strip its petals because it was angry. It just happened.
And the song reflects that.
It reflects that acceptance. There is no loud elegy. There's no screaming at the heavens, why me?
Which is a very hard place to get to emotionally, to stop asking why me and just accept because it is.
It's the ultimate maturity. And interestingly, the source material links this Camus-style acceptance to a totally different tradition, which I found fascinating.
The 11th century Islamic theologian, now this was the wildest connection in the notes for me. What does a medieval mystic have to do with French pop?
They converge on the idea of the mirage. Al-Ghazali wrote extensively in The Alchemy of Happiness about the danger of worldly glory.
Which brings us right back to the admiration thing.
Precisely. Al-Ghazali argued that if you rely on your image in the eyes of others, you are guilty of spiritual negligence.
Negligence. That's a very specific, almost legalistic word.
He means you are asleep at the wheel. You are forgetting your true nature. You are forgetting you are dust.
So for Sartre, relying on admiration is bad because it's a fake, unstable identity. For Al-Ghazali, it's bad because it distracts you from the spiritual reality of your fragility.
And the song sits right in that intersection. It warns us that getting high on your own supply, believing your own hype, is the most dangerous thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because when the hype fades and the likes stop coming, you're left with nothing but the reality of your decay.
Cheerful stuff. I feel great about myself now.
I know. But stick with me. Because there's a twist. The analysis argues that the song shifts at the end. It stops being a story about a flower and becomes a mirror.
A mirror for the listener.
For you and me. We are listening to the rose complain about dying, and we think, oh, poor little flower. But the song is tricking us. We are the flower.
We're the ones scrolling for likes. We're the ones ignoring our own duration.
We are the ones who think tomorrow is a guarantee. The song forces us to confront the fact that the distance between I am the most beautiful and I am dust is incredibly short.
So if we take all this Heidegger, Keats, Camus, Al-Ghazali, and look back at that first line, we are very little things. How are we supposed to feel about it? Is it defeat? Is it saying nothing matters, so why bother?
The sources argue, no, it is clarity.
How so?
Well, think about the stress we carry, the pressure to be the main character, the pressure to be immortal through our work or our legacy or our social status, the pressure to be fixed and permanent.
That's exhausting.
It's crushing. Admitting I am a very little thing is a release valve. It's an admission of reality. You stop fighting the current.
It reminds me of that idea that you shouldn't try to be a wave fighting the ocean. You should realize you are the ocean.
Or in this case, realize you are the dust. And there is a distinct human privilege in that.
A privilege. Being dust is a privilege.
Knowing it is. A rock doesn't know it will erode. A plastic flower doesn't know it's fake. A dog doesn't know it one day ceased to be. But we are the only entity in the known universe that knows we are going to die.
And we sing about it.
We sing about it. We create art about it. We have this double consciousness. We know we are dust, but we still organize our calendars. We still fall in love.
We still record deep dives on it.
We still do. The rose died in the morning. But the song, the picture record of the rose, is still here, 60 years later.
That's the irony, isn't it? The song warns us that nothing lasts, yet the song itself has outlasted the singer's youth and the specific rose that inspired it. Art acts as a witness. It freezes the duration so we can look at it without it crumbling immediately. So for the listener who might be feeling a little existential dread right now.
Which is fair. It's a heavy topic.
What is the takeaway? Do we just lie down and wait for the dust?
Not at all. We go back to Bergson. If you know the clock is ticking, stop watching the clock. Focus on the intensity.
Make the duration count.
Right. If we stop trying to freeze time with admiration, if we stop trying to be statues, we can actually enjoy the blooming. We can appreciate the moment because it won't be here tomorrow.
It sounds like the brutal softness you mentioned at the start turns out to be mostly just honest.
Brutally honest. We are little things, but little things can have massive internal experiences.
It really changes how I'll hear the song next time. Instead of a lullaby, it's a manifesto.
That was the goal. To see the philosophy hiding in the pop chart.
I want to leave everyone with a final thought to chew on today. We've talked about how the rose's beauty comes from its transience, that Keats idea, and we've talked about the weight of existence coming from the realization that we are fleeting.
The awareness of the dust.
So here is the question. If the only thing that gives your life weight and meaning is the knowledge that it will end, does acknowledging your own dust make your current moment of blooming more intense? Or does it just make the whole thing more absurd?
That is the question to carry into the rest of the day.
Something to think about the next time you see a flower or check your reflection in the mirror. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Pleasure as always.